What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Wildcard Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Steven Wildcard, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to talk about 3 new topics here. We're going to debate them. I found some memes that people have posted on the internet that are going crazy. People are debating it, and I want to debate it with you guys. We'll talk about it. So let's just get right into it. The first one I found here are the state picks to win the 2024 World Series. I'll pull the graphic up here so you guys can see it. And when you look at this graphic of the United States, I mean, Dodgers are taking over almost the whole United States. Of these states think that the Dodgers will win the World Series. But when you look at Texas, Houston takes over the whole state, which I'm kind of surprised about. You think it would be kind of 50-50 there. Texas, though, is taking over New Mexico and Oklahoma. And then we got Atlanta taking up a good portion over there. And then the whole state of Florida, it's Tampa Bay. They don't even care about Miami over there. And then you got the Orioles, you got the Phillies, and then, of course, in New York, you got the Yankees. No one believes in the Mets. No one ever does believe in the Mets, it seems like. And then we got the Twins up there and the Brewers. And then in Alaska and Hawaii, it's the Dodgers. So, but if you look at most of America, it's pretty much all Dodgers. And why is that? Because of signing Ohtani. Maybe if they didn't even sign Ohtani, some people would say the Dodgers, because the Dodgers right now, they just have an all-star team. They bought an all-star team. So in years past, when they buy a championship, when they try to buy a championship, it doesn't really work out like that. Look at the Mets last year. They bought all these all-stars. They had a stacked roster. And look what happened. They fell apart. They didn't even make the playoffs. Will that happen to the Dodgers? I don't think they will not make the playoffs. They should make the playoffs. But what tends to happen to the Dodgers, they tend to choke in the playoffs. I don't see Ohtani choking in the playoffs. I would love to see Ohtani in the playoffs. Unfortunately, he has to be on the Dodgers to do that. I wish he was on any other team, but he had to be on the Dodgers. But I feel like they're going to be kind of overrated. Everyone thinking the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be a Mets situation. Not missing the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be that bad and fall apart that bad and choke that bad. But I don't think they're going to make it all the way to the World Series or win it. Everyone's hyping them up. I think they have the Dodgers at about 104 wins this season. I would probably take the under there just because when teams sign big free agents in the offseason, it bumps up their total wins. And I think they're overhyped right now. Obviously, they have amazing players. I'm not saying the Dodgers don't have amazing players, but will they work? Will the chemistry work? I don't know. We'll find out. So most of America likes the Dodgers. If I had to make a choice, though, my World Series pick, well, I mean, just so you guys know, I'm a San Francisco Giants fan, as you can tell by the memorabilia in the back. But if I had to make a pick of the 2024 World Series, I really like the Orioles this year. They're just getting better and better, and they're building from the farm system. They're drafting and building up their players, and they have great players, and they're only getting better year after year. And I like teams that do that. I like teams that don't have to buy themselves a championship like the Dodgers are trying to do. So I really like the Orioles here. They're in about like 2, 4, 6. They're in like 6th place right now to win the World Series as far as the World Series odds at plus 1,500 or plus 1,400. And then we got the Rangers in front of them, Yankees, Astros, Braves, and Dodgers leading the pack for those teams that are favored to win the World Series. The Twins are, a couple spots back behind the Orioles. Same with the Phillies. I'm surprised we don't even see the Mariners up there in Seattle and Washington, or those states think the Dodgers will probably win it. So it doesn't surprise me to see that the Dodgers are taking over most of America and thinking that they will win the World Series. But will the Dodgers be like the Mets of last year? I don't know if it's going to be that bad, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. Are the Dodgers going to be really overrated going into this season and overhyped? Are they going to choke when they make the playoffs? Will they even make the playoffs? I'm assuming so, but what do you guys think? Is this map of America right? Let me know what you guys would fix, what you guys would change, which states probably believe something else. And if you're from one of these states and you're like, no, this is not true, let me know. I want to know. So we will move on from that topic. It's pretty interesting. I'm a Giants fan. It sucks to see all of California in that Dodger blue. Moving on, though, to the next meme I found here, sports meme. It's pretty interesting, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. I'll pull it up right here. We're talking Brandon Cooks. This meme was posted, and it says, Brandon Cooks has to be one of the most underrated receivers of our generation. So not of all time, but of our generation. 1,000 yards everywhere he played with any quarterback. So that feat in general is great, is amazing to get over 1,000 yards. But is he the most underrated wide receiver of our generation? I don't know if he's the most underrated. I feel like he gets his credit every year, year after year. Everyone knows he's a really good wide receiver. But when he goes to the Cowboys, he's not the number one receiver. It's obviously CeeDee Lamb. And sure, he probably could be a number one receiver at a different team, but I don't think that team would be great. If he wants to win championships, I don't think he could be the number one receiver on a team. He has to be a number two, number three, most likely number two. So being on the Cowboys is a good fit for him, but if he really wants to stand out, he probably needs to leave the Cowboys and go somewhere else and be a number one receiver. But will he win a championship as a number one receiver? I don't think so. He needs a lot of other strong wide receivers around him. So what do you guys think? I'm curious to know if you guys think he's underrated, because I think he gets his respect. I think he gets his credit. No one discounts Brandon Cooks. At least I don't. I think he's a really good wide receiver, but I wouldn't call him underrated. But according to this meme, his stats prove that he's a great receiver, so you can't discount that. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Is Brandon Cooks an underrated receiver? And let me know if you guys think he should stay on the Cowboys. Where do you want to see Brandon Cooks go and possibly dominate? And that was a quick one I wanted to go over, but that's pretty interesting there. This last one I found pretty funny. We're talking Luka Doncic from the Mavs here, and we're talking NBA MVP race. I'll pull it up so you guys can see it. Here it is. Someone posted this. If Luka doesn't win the MVP this year, the league is rigged. The league is rigged. That's what they're saying. If Luka doesn't win the MVP. I mean, come on. I hate the argument when something doesn't go the way they want it. They automatically assume that the league is rigged. It happens in football. It happens in the NBA. It happens in the MLB. Almost every league now, people just say the league is rigged when something doesn't go their way. If their team doesn't win, automatically the league is rigged. That's everyone's go-to when something doesn't go their way. Sure, Luka, he deserves to win MVP. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to win MVP. Leading the race, though, for MVP is Nikola Jokic, and he definitely deserves to win MVP again. Jokic definitely deserves it. He should have won it again last year, but Embiid got it. And then we got SGA in second, and then in third we have Luka Doncic in the MVP race. So sure, take away Luka from the Mavs. Mavs are going to be terrible. Take away Jokic from the Nuggets. Nuggets aren't going to be the same team. That's for sure. They're not going to be as good. In fourth place, we got Giannis, and then we got Tatum, and then we got Anthony Edwards and Kawhi Leonard. I'm actually surprised Kawhi's in there. But so yeah, I feel like if you take away SGA from the Thunder, sure, there'll be less of a team, but I think they could hold their own without SGA. But he does have some MVP material. I don't think he should win MVP, but I feel like a good race would be between Jokic and Doncic. But if Luka doesn't win MVP, no, the NBA is not rigged. But I know the MVP voting could be a little biased, so that's always something you got to deal with. If you left it up to the fans, maybe that would change. Maybe Luka could win it, but when you leave it up to fan voting, bigger markets have kind of a better chance of winning MVP just because there's more fans voting for their player on their team. So let me know who your guys' NBA MVP is. I'm curious to know, do you think Luka deserves it, Jokic, SGA, Giannis, or Tatum, or some other person I did not mention. Who's your guys' MVP? I want to know. Post it in the comments because I don't think the NBA is rigged in that way. And sometimes people overhype the whole MVP talk. It's like, at the end of the day, is your team going to win a championship or not? Sure, these players on that list are carrying their teams, or at least a huge part of their team making into the playoffs and possibly winning a championship. But by any means, I don't think Luka doesn't deserve to win MVP. I think he's an amazing player and he's so fun to watch. If he doesn't win it this year, trust me, guys, the league is not rigged if he doesn't win it. That is our last topic of the podcast. It was a pretty quick one here. I like doing these little debates because we could talk about it in the chat or in the comments. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm keeping these podcasts short and sweet so you guys could just watch it and move on. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. You guys have a great rest of your week. Peace.